next up for Joe is a showdown fight with the very dangerous and very useful Joseph Parker. Well, we've looked at that. Joe fancies it. He's up for it and feels he can get through that. And then the dream fight for him would be against Tyson Fury, should Fury decide to come back and fight again. And certainly last night on Talk TV with Piers Morgan, Tyson Fury was well nigh resolute that that's it.
This is the truth, the gospel truth, nothing but the truth. I'm done. You know, every good dog has its day. And like the great Roman leader said, there'll always be somebody else to fight. When is enough enough? I'm happy, I'm healthy, I've still got my brains, I can still talk, I've got a beautiful wife, I've got 6 kids, I've got up-team belts, I've got plenty of money, success, fame, glory. What more am I doing it for? You know, boxing's a very dangerous sport. You can be taken out with one punch, as we've seen on Saturday night. And, you know, it only takes one unlucky blow, and you may not get up off that canvas. I'm quitting while I'm ahead. I'm undefeated, only the second man in history to retire undefeated heavyweight champion. I'm very, very happy. I'm very contented in the heart with what I've done, what I've achieved.
Joyce, that was Tyson speaking to Piers Morgan last night. He seems resolute and definite, and his reasons are sound.
Yeah, I would agree, yeah. So if he doesn't want it, then let's see how Usyk and Joshua fare, and then maybe I'll take one of them. But alternatively, if he changes his mind, I'm here.
Of course. Yep. So, Joe, quite rightly, you're putting yourself forward, and you'd go for it, given the opportunity. Do you believe Fury, Spencer?
No, I don't. I believe him in the way that he feels right now in his heart of hearts. I get that, right? Because Joe will back me up on this one. When you've been in the training camp, you've been, like he says himself, he's been a pro. He's been boxing now for 20 years, Tyson Fury. He's achieved everything he wanted to achieve. He's got more money than a bank than he could ever spend. That's great, right? But once that boredom sets in, that thing that, you know, he's a fighting man. And I think that right now, when you've been through the training camp that he's been through, and it's so taxing on the body and taxing on the mind, the last thing, like, the way that Fury's thinking right now is, I want to disappear to an island, no phone, no people, I don't want to see anyone, I just want to get away from everything. And guess what? After 2 months, when he's sitting on that island and Anthony Joshua and Alexander Usyk are sorting it out, and then they call out Tyson Fury, the winner of that calls out Tyson Fury's going to go, I think I fancy that. Yeah, so that's the thing. Like, I get that right now he says that's it and I'm done and my beautiful family, understand all that, get it. But there's still a lot of fight left in Tyson Fury. I think that we saw that he's still very much at the top of his game.
Simon, I think of this, and I think of a fighter that you've seen in the flesh, Evander Holyfield. Mm-hmm. And I remember one American commentator saying to Holyfield, why is it you keep on fighting? Why can you not hang up the gloves? And he says to him, you've got enough money, you could air condition hell. Yeah. And even at that, Holyfield said, I can't stop.
But I also think Tyson Fury is a very different animal. He's a very charismatic character. Sure. And he's quite cerebral when he's thinking. When you're watching the landscape, back to you, Joe, when you're watching the landscape, you've got Parker to overcome. If Tyson Fury doesn't come back, and, you know, let's worry about you right now. You've got the potential of fighting the winner of Usyk versus Joshua.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? What do you think of either one of those fighters? You know, Joshua or Usyk. Usyk, stylistically, is causing people a lot of problems and stepping up to a division that no one thought that he could fight in and fight the big guys at. Right? And you're a big lad, right? So when you look at that and think, well, I could fight Usyk or Joshua, not that you're going to get carried away because you've got Parker in front of you, but if that opportunity comes, who would you prefer to fight? Or you just don't care? Put who in front of me, or whoever's got to be put in front of me.
Well, I think financially, Joshua would be a better fight financially.
Because of the British element.
Yeah, exactly. But in the UK and hopefully. Usyk's a tricky fight. I've fought him before. He's a southpaw, a little bit shorter, but he's so technically gifted and footwork and everything. So, you know, I mean, either one of those is a great fight. Yeah, so
I watched that fight actually. You boxed that was at the York Hall, wasn't it? 2013, I believe it was. Well,
and I really enjoyed that fight. It was well, even though I lost, but yeah, it was a great fight.
I think what Derek Chisora showed in that fight with Alexander Usyk, although Usyk figured him out late on and then run away with it, what Derek Chisora showed is that use your size. You don't have to be technically gifted to beat Usyk. You just got to bully him, and that's what Anthony Joshua done wrong. And so I think that Alexander Usyk's a great fight for you, a great rematch for you, because you was having your successes in the amateurs as well.
Well, that's a great shout. What was your approach that night when you fought Usyk?
Just to bash him up and get to him. I didn't really have much southpaw sparring, so I just there wasn't much hope for me winning. But like, I just gave it all I got. I was a bigger man, and they did the catch weight at the time, so they brought the heavyweights, the heavyweights and the super heavyweights in amateur boxing together, and made like 5 divisions in the World Series of Boxing. And that was like, it's lucky I could fight. He was just coming off his Olympic gold win, so it was quite a big ask, but I gave it all I got. I thought I did well, and bashed him up a bit, and he was so skilled at the time, but I thought I landed a lot of shots and made it a really entertaining fight.
So he's so skilled at the time, Simon, but he's even better now.
Well, sure, and now he's a legitimate heavyweight, and he's moving into that.
And you're not over the 3-round distance, because that's a big problem. For amateurs that are technical over the 3-round distance, Aulie Harrison's a classic for that.
Absolutely.
Like, over a 3-round distance, they're going to win fights. If we're talking about Joe's style, like Cole Frotch's, Joe wins in the last quarter of the fight. In these fights where you got the technically gifted fighter, you got the guy that keeps pushing on, and he might be falling behind on points, but they get there in the end. You know what I'm saying? Over the long distance, Joe's style is suited
when
for the
there's
long
2
distance.
halves of the fight.
Absolutely.
The 12 rounds.
This Joseph Parker fight, how'd you win this fight? I mean, I just said to Spencer, and I know that you guys will say anyone can get knocked. I don't see Joseph Parker being able to knock out Joe Joyce.
Yeah.
So the question to me is, if we were arguing, we'll get to the second that we're not ignoring you, that Joseph Parker is perhaps a technically better fighter than Joe Joyce. How does Joe win? How do you win this fight, Joe?
I have a lot of respect for Parker. I think he's he's a great man out of the ring and stuff. But in the ring, he's very gifted technically and that, and he's got decent power. He looked really strong against Derek Chisora in the last fight. So it's gonna be a massive fight.
You just draw him into a dogfight. Is that the idea? Like, draw him into what suits you, like, because you obviously want to close the space, don't you?
I'm going to get my game plan of Salas. He's been in the game and he's very knowledgeable about stuff, and I'll listen to him and devise a plan and practice all the techniques. But I see he can be, he might not be able to keep up with my work rate for over 12 rounds. So let's see how we get on. And he's got a decent chin as well. So I wonder if I'll be able to knock him out. I'll try and stop him and put everything I can in to get the knockout.
And unlike him, you've got no losses in your record.
Yeah.
So you're ready. You're going in there confident of protecting that. You can't even conceive of defeat. There's no way that enters your head. No. Not in the trajectory you're on.
No, I've got that winning mentality, and I aim to keep that.
Yeah.
Stay undisputed.
I've always wanted to ask you, I mean, you've been in the fight game a while, Joe. You're 36. Who inspired you as you grew up? Who did you idolise?
Well, I always looked at Muhammad Ali. I got into boxing late, 22, so I watched a bit of boxing, all the really popular fights, Mike Tyson, and I had a look at some of the old fights, and I had a trainer who was from Cuba, and he got me interested in looking at Teofilo Stevenson, which I thought was what a great fighter.
Wow, yes.
And tried to emulate him, and also a bit of Joe Louis as well I had a look at, and I liked the way he finished off his opponents. He had what a career as well. Maybe he stayed in it a little bit too long, but while he was
Lennox.
Lennox as well,
Larry Holmes,
all the greats. But now it seems like, because all of them seem to be from America, but now all the good heavyweights are from the UK.
Yeah, which is great. You seem to be able to go and go and go as well. I mean, you're very dangerous late on in the fight. You seem to get stronger. How come you've got this engine that just keeps revved up?
If you've trained at Elsfield, Sid Khan puts you through a lot. So it definitely works on your endurance and stuff. And from the rugby background, being a forward, you always have to run all over the pitch and do line-ups and scrummages. So I think I've got it in my engine over my years in sport and
Joe-
I've taken that through to the boxing.
Joe, can we just let our listeners know as well, because I don't think a lot of them will know this, is that you've got a very unusual thing that you do in your spare time when you're not boxing. You're a painter, you're an artist, aren't you?
Yeah,
And a very good one as well, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm a bit of a dab hand.
Not like a couple of coats in the kitchen. He's an
No, he's a
artist
proper
artist.
painter.
proper painter. Yeah, I can paint walls and ceilings quite easily as well, as you can imagine.
Without a ladder. Yeah.
Why that? Is it something that kind of is a calming effect on you?
Yeah, and it's something I was, brought up with doing, and in school I was very good at sport and art, and I just use it, with things that you're good at, you enjoy and you keep getting better and better at. And it's something that I've took with me and I enjoy, and
you still do it
it's
today.
like creative, yeah.
What did you get into when you were a fighter?
You don't want to know. No,
Well, didn't you?
I didn't.
Were you an artist,
No,
Spencer?
basically, no. I used to just train. I didn't do anything else. I was an artist, but not a painter.
Yeah,
I'll
yes.
leave that with you,
I've
Jim.
got a terrible
Alright.
image of Joe Joyce doing a nude painting of Spencer.
Yes.
Like one of those little cherubs.
Yeah. You need
Maybe with an apple in
Sitting
his
on a
mouth.
cushion,
a
yeah?
apple in his mouth, Joe.
Toadstool.
Yeah,
Toadstool.
you just need a tiny brush for that one.
With a little fishing rod.
Joe, great having you on board this lunchtime.
Nice to see you, Joe.
Not only do we admire you as a fighter, we like you greatly, mate, and only wish success upon you.
Yeah, I like you all too. Yeah, it's great. It's been a pleasure coming here again, and
Fantastic.
I hope everyone
We'll be behind you.
listening has enjoyed the show.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. Best of luck against Joseph Parker, who, as you emphasise, you respect hugely. It's going to be one hell of a fight, but we wish you well in it. Thanks so
Thank you.
much. Joe Joyce with us live this lunchtime. Spencer, thanks as always, mate. As for you, I don't like you, and I'll see you in the morning.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.